Today I'm showing you how to make a 4-ingredient dinner in your crock pot. Hey friends, today on the Eating on a Dime show, I'm making my all-time favorite Mississippi roast. Let me know what's for dinner below, and if you've ever made Mississippi roast. We're only going to need, we're going to need 1, 2, 3 ingredients plus the roast, and the crock pot is going to do all the work. Let me know if you've ever made Mississippi roast, and then let me know what you like to serve it with. So give me a heart, friends, if you're loving your crock pot right now. A lot of people think that the crock pot is actually not their friend when the temperatures warm up, but actually the opposite is true. I tend to use my crock pot more in the warmer months because it doesn't heat up my kitchen. So if we're not grilling, we're crock pot cooking. So that way we don't have to heat up the oven and we don't have to heat up the kitchen, which obviously helps with electric bills with the air conditioner when it gets super hot in the summer. And this Mississippi roast is the perfect example of a roast that's delicious all year long. Let's get started. How do you get the recipe, guys? I'm gonna talk about 2 recipes today. Number 1 is the crock pot Mississippi roast. Go to eatingonadime.com and you can just search Mississippi roast. You'll find our crock pot version and our instant pot version, or I've got the links below. But if you can't find them, just go to eatingonadime.com and you can search for the recipe there. I also am going to talk about our homemade ranch mix. I don't know if you knew this, but you can actually make the ranch mix that you buy in the packages at home. It saves you a lot of money, and you know all the ingredients that are inside, and it's actually super simple to make. And the flavor is, identical. We can't tell the difference. And so I have a recipe for that as well on eatingonadime.com. Again, I have the links below, but if you can't find it, just go to eatingonadime.com and search ranch mix and you're going to find it. Okay, so Mississippi roast. Let's make this now. We have a roast in the crock pot already. I didn't want to touch the meat on the live, but any kind of roast will do, a chuck roast, a rump roast, whatever you can find on sale. You can substitute any kind of meat. Let me put this on here so people don't get mad at me because of my hair. You can substitute any kind of meat. Pork chops are delicious with this recipe. Pork tenderloin is delicious with this recipe. A pork roast is delicious with the recipe, but pork is not the only thing that you can have. Chicken is amazing for this recipe as well. Chicken breasts are so good in this Mississippi roast. So you do you, whatever you can find on sale, and try this recipe today. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? So I got my roast in my crock pot. Now I'm going to throw in some of the ranch mix. Now, if you're just going to buy the ranch mix at the store, you're just going to throw in a packet. I'm going to use my homemade ranch mix, which needs about 2 tablespoons. My roast is a little bit bigger than the recipe calls, so I'm going to do heaping tablespoons. Dump that in, just lay it right on top. Then I'm going to use pepperoncinis. I'm not sure if I said that right. Pepperoncinis. Is it pepperoncinis? Okay, so let me know below. How do you pronounce pepperoncinis? Pepperoncinis, pepperoncinis. Anyway, so you're gonna need a jar of that. Now, this one is medium heat. They also have a mild heat. You do you, boo. Pepperoncinis are not generally super spicy, but but you can pick the heat when you go to the store. I like to use the whole ones, but sliced ones work too. And the reason I like the whole ones is because if you have picky eaters in your family, it's really easy for them to pick these out. That way they still get the flavor of the delicious peppers, but they're not getting the texture that they're probably afraid of. Or you can just pull them out before you serve it and nobody will know. My kids will pick these out, but they love this roast. They love the roast. It's so good. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna need about a half a jar. And I'm going to just pull them out. And then you wanna make sure you include some of that juice. Now, if you really want lots of you know what? I want lots of the juice. I'm doing it all. I just made a mess. I'm doing the whole jar. You can do, the recipe calls for half a jar, but then when I was talking here, I realized that my roast is a little bit bigger than what the recipe calls for because my family is quite large. And this recipe, they love it. So they're going to eat a lot of it. So I just went ahead and did the whole jar. Easy peasy, right? Now that this recipe, now that we have this in here, then you're going to throw a stick of butter on top. And this is the secret to making the best roast. A little bit of butter, woo, packs it full of flavor. Okay, so I'm going to put a butter on top, put the lid on, and dinner's done. That's how easy it is. The butter is going to melt all over it. You're going to have delicious seasonings from the ranch and the peppers combined. So we're going to cook this on low for 8 to 10 hours, or you can do high for 4 to 5 hours. I like to cook this roast longer than normal because the longer you cook your roast, the more it will fall apart. And this is a roast that you want to fall apart. Now, make sure you go to my recipe on eatononadime.com because I teach you how to make a delicious gravy with this, because we're going to serve this with Instant Pot mashed potatoes. I'll include a link below as well. And we're going to serve this on top of mashed potatoes, and that gravy is delicious. But if you're doing a keto or a low carb lifestyle, just eliminate those mashed potatoes because this is keto and low carb. It is a delicious and perfect dinner idea. Okay. Let's see. Michelle says they like to use jalapenos, much better flavor. I love that idea. I'm going to have to try that. Did you use brown gravy mix? No, Misty, no mix is needed except for that ranch mix. You don't need a brown gravy mix to make gravy. If you go to eatononadime.com and search Mississippi roast, you'll see that gravy is actually crazy easy to make. No mix is required. So, okay, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope I inspired you to make something simple with only 1, 2, 3, 5 ingredients. Or is that 4? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4 ingredients. I hope you make something with only 4 ingredients for a delicious dinner tonight. Go ahead and click the links below. I have the recipe for the crock pot Mississippi roast, Instant Pot Mississippi roast, our homemade ranch mix, and even our Instant Pot mashed potatoes. Head on down and click the link below. Bye, friends.